God, like this really happened. Because as soon as I saw those pictures, and as soon as I saw those videos, I knew there was fatalities. I just knew that as soon as I heard people died, my initial reaction was, how are we gonna get past this?
I started noticing that the weather was going to be really bad, but the weather alerts on my phone, so those would update me throughout the night, and I couldn't sleep. I was very concerned and worried, and so I probably fell asleep around 4 a.m. finally, and then at about 6:30, Ted came around to the side of the bed and whispered in my ear, and he said, "Honey, you need to wake up. Something terrible has happened."
As soon as we got home and turned on the news, then you start to watch the Mayfield is coming your way, and Wingo, the different communities that are leading up to Mayfield. Watched the flag on my neighbor's house go completely limp for it seemed like a minute or two, and then it started blowing directly out of the northeast at a very high rate. And I thought, something's different about this.
I did go with my son to that particular area that got hit so hard, where when we got there, it was just unbelievable, and it kind of left both of us speechless for the first few minutes as we drove in. But unfortunately, we learned in that particular community, in that area, there were 12 deaths that night.
On December the 10th, I was at home that evening, but I saw where it was going and the path that it was taking. And the scary part is then when it happens, your cell phone service goes away. And I mean, at that point in time, if you're not there, all you can do is pray. That's it. That's all you can do to try to help at that moment.
I think the feeling I feel is just kind of heavy. It's devastating. Yeah, we had a whole family that they all passed away, and one of our students in particular. I don't think I will ever forget the night of December 10th. I think it was something that I can speak for our school community as well. It kind of changed everything.
You're kind of numb, and you really don't, and I don't know that anybody in the moment understood how significant and how bad the devastation was.
I just went downstairs and watched the news about what's going on, and there was two things the reporter said. The first thing was, this is the worst tornado disaster to ever happen to Western Kentucky. And then he said it's heading straight for Dawson.
We were in the midst of horse mania. We all paused. We all grieved. The stories, the photos, Western Kentucky felt like Central Kentucky. And so had this wild idea. We need to do a painted horse for the communities affected, specifically Bowling Green, Mayfield, Madisonville. We knew a partner would emerge. So that was Monday morning. On Tuesday, I called and texted Stacy Burge. First of all, offering our deepest sympathy. They were doing damage control and taking care of folks. And we had an answer that, yes, Independence Bank wants to be a part of this. We want to make it happen.
What can we do? And that was these 3 horses. And the 3 horses represent hopes of healing, rebirth, growth, moving forward. And it's been spectacular to be a part of, because we just keep bringing others along throughout the way. The project keeps growing and turning into more. And the experience of having these students here with us in Lexington, a new market for Independence Bank, has given us an opportunity to really reach a hand of care across the state to show that we're all one.
Oh, it's been incredibly therapeutic to me. Art itself to me is more therapy, because it's how I release stress, it's how I release tension. And so actually having a purpose to paint with, it's been an amazing experience. Like, it's something I've never experienced before. And especially with something this deep and this close to me, it's been amazing. Like, I came in with the mentality, okay, this is gonna be a memorable thing. This is gonna be for a memory. But I don't think it's a memory anymore. I think it's more of a representation of how Dawson isn't a memory. Like, it's a symbol of how strong our community really is to be able to build back from such a disaster.
We're representing Bowling Green because we have a bunch of symbols from Bowling Green around the horse. And then we're also showing healing and growth because we have all the plants. Plants grow and the community is growing and recovering. after the storm.
Getting the schools involved and the students for the communities, I think that's going to build a bridge to help communities heal when they see that, you know, we need to remember what happened, but we need to move forward and we need to come together to do that. And I think the students working together from all 3 counties is good.
This idea of being able to not just provide an opportunity for these students to do this and enjoy it, but the funds that we raise on these horses at auction will actually go back to the community. We want to continue to pay it forward in the recovery of your community.
It's satisfying to see everyone here collaborating and working on a fun project that's gonna, in the end, support the community. I think it's wonderful. I love it. I love being a part of something bigger than myself.
I'm very glad to be a part of this. And, you know, the kids, and talking to them, they didn't know that there was going to be a plaque with their names on it. So when I was talking to them about that, they are just, you know, you can just see the pride. This is a good thing.
So art, I believe, is a process of healing. With this experience, them being able to work together and kind of work through those feelings as a team or a collaboration, I feel like is even more powerful.
I do believe in second chances. I do believe with the way the community has united together after this tornado, and we all want to see them be able to rebuild that back to what it was or even better than before.
I can't imagine what those families have gone through. And getting to know these kids a little bit over Zoom meetings as we introduce them to the artists, and hearing their stories, hearing about their friends and their families, people walking across town to check on people to make sure they were okay. It's overwhelming. Everybody deserves a second chance. And with the support of coming together, I hope that nobody feels like giving up.
And I think the reality hopefully will set in soon that we are going to build back. That's not a question, we are going to build back, but the question is what it looks like. You know, 5 years from now, Mayfield will hopefully be back to a new normal, but it will be back.
I do believe in second chances. I think when you go through a disaster like this, the only option is to keep going.
I just knew that as soon as I heard people died, my initial reaction was, how are we going to get past this? And looking back, it was a valid question, but now I'm looking at, we are getting past it, and that gives me a lot of hope.